If you're tired of repeating the same tasks over and over again in Excel, macros are about to become your new best friend. In this session, we'll break down everything you need to know to create your very first macros, all without any coding experience. Macros can be big time savers for those tasks you find yourself performing repeatedly. Macros enable you to record a series of steps that you normally use to perform a task, store those steps, and then automatically rerun those steps whenever you want. Macros can be quickly activated by assigning them to the Quick Access Toolbar or to buttons and other objects. There are many benefits to creating macros. They are great time savers. By automating tasks, you eliminate human errors that creep in during repetitive work. They ensure consistency, and you can use them to tailor Excel to your specific needs that aren't built into the software. You can start the macro recorder by clicking on the Macro Recorder button on the taskbar. If this button isn't visible on your status bar, you will need to right-click on the status bar, select the option for Macro Recording, and then click on any cell to exit the listing. I will click on the Macro Recorder button. When you start the recorder, a Record Macro dialog box opens, where you will need to enter the name that you are assigning to the macro. The name can't contain any spaces. You should give the macro a meaningful name, but for this tutorial, I will just name it Example 1. Next, you will need to assign a shortcut key to the macro. The shortcut key is currently showing Control and a plus sign, and a text box where you are to enter a keystroke that will be used in addition to the Control key. Unfortunately, just about all the shortcuts that use a Control key and a lowercase letter are already being used by Excel, so we will use an uppercase letter. If you enter an uppercase letter, Excel adds a Shift key to the shortcut. Therefore, you would need to enter Control plus Shift plus the letter you entered for the shortcut. I will click inside the text box and type Shift plus G. There are 3 places you can store your macro: the current workbook, a new workbook, or the Personal Macro Workbook. If you wanted to make the macros available for use in other workbooks, you would need to select the Personal Macro Workbook. The Personal Macro Workbook doesn't exist until you save a macro to it. Excel saves the file as Personal with an extension of XLSB. This workbook is hidden and is opened automatically whenever you start Excel. I want this macro to only be usable in the current workbook, so I shall select the Current Workbook option. The macro we are creating will apply bold, italics, red font, and all border formatting to a single cell or range of cells. I will enter a description so that I will always know everything this macro does. From this point on, every keystroke and mouse click that you make until you click the Stop Recording button is recorded. Since it records everything that you do, it is very important that you don't click any other cells or perform any steps other than those that are directly related to the task you want to perform. You will know when you are recording a macro because the Macro Start Recording button changes to the Macro Stop Recording button. I will click on the bold and italics buttons. I will change the font color to red. I will click on the All Borders button. Once you have recorded everything you need, remember to click on the Stop Recording button before you do anything else. Now we can test the macro. With a cell selected, I will use the shortcut key assigned to the macro, Control plus Shift plus G. The cell takes on the formatting assigned to the macro. You can change the shortcut key assigned to the macro. I will click on the ribbon's View tab. I will click on the down arrow below the Macros button. Notice that there is an option here for recording a macro. Clicking on this option does the same thing as clicking on the Macro Record button on the status bar. I will click on the View Macro button. I will click on the Options button. I will change the shortcut by changing the G to an H. Now, when I want to apply the macro, I will press Control plus Shift plus H. Let's create a second macro. This one will change the font type and size, center the text vertically and horizontally, and perform wrap text. Click on the Macro Recorder button. Let's name this one Example 2. I will enter Shift plus K in the shortcut key box. So our full shortcut key will be Control plus Shift plus K. For this example, let's store the macro in the Personal Macro Workbook. This will make it available to all workbooks. I will enter a meaningful description. The recording process now starts. I will change the font type to Arial Black and change its size to 16. I will click on the buttons to center the text vertically and horizontally and to wrap the text. I will press Control plus Shift plus K to apply the macro to the active cell. If you try to save a workbook that contains macros that doesn't have the macro extension XLSM, you will get a message informing you that the features can't be saved to the workbook. If you want to save the macro with the workbook, you will need to click on the Go Back button. Change the Save As type to Excel Macro Enabled Workbook, which has an extension of XLSM. So far, we have seen that you can run a macro by typing its shortcut keys. It may be difficult to remember all the different shortcut keys. A solution to this would be to add the macros to the Quick Access Toolbar, or you can attach them to buttons or other objects. We will assign the Example 1 macro to the Quick Access Toolbar. To do this, right-click on the Quick Access Toolbar and then select Customize Quick Access Toolbar. From the drop-down menu, select Macros. Select the macro you want to use, which in this case is Example 1. Click on the Add button to add it to the Quick Access Toolbar. Click on the Modify button. Here, you can select whatever icon you want to identify with your macro. Click on the OK button. With a cell selected, click on the icon that you have selected for the macro. You can also associate a macro with any shape or icon. I will click on the icon button. I will select the tab for Cutout People. You can select any of the cutout people. I will resize the image. I will right-click on the image and then select Assign Macro. With the cell selected that I want to apply the macro to, I will click on the cutout. The macro has been applied. I want to change the macro associated with the cutout. I will right-click on the cutout again and select Assign Macro. From the macros in drop-down box, I will select Personal. I will click on the macro name Personal Example 2. I will click on the OK button. Now, when I click on the cutout, it will apply the macro associated with Example 2. I will click on the ribbon's View tab. I will click on the down arrow for macros and then select View Macros. Because Personal is selected in the Macros In box, only the Example 2 macro is showing in the Macro Names list box. I will click on the Delete button to delete it. Excel displays the message, "Cannot edit a macro on a hidden workbook. Unhide the workbook using the Unhide command." I will click on the OK button for the message and click on the Cancel button for the macro dialog box. Remember, the Personal Workbook that contains macros available to all workbooks is hidden. I will click on the Unhide button. Excel wishes to confirm that you want to unhide it. To do so, I will click on the OK button. The Personal Workbook displays. There is nothing on any worksheet. I will click on the down arrow for the macro and then select View Macros. I can now delete the macro from the Personal Workbook. I will click on the Hide button to hide the Personal Workbook. You've now taken your first steps into the world of Excel automation with macros. From recording simple formatting steps to potentially fetching live data, macros can revolutionize how you work in Excel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Click on the link in the description below to get additional great free content. Share this video with your friends and colleagues. Comment below with any questions or suggestions for future tutorials. We love hearing from you. Have a great day.